How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Creator's Process. As you know, my name is Jaden, and right next to me I have the one, the only Azcadelia. How are we doing today?
Really good, how are you?
That's good, and I'm going well, thank you. As I said, I'm really honoured and very happy that I'm now sitting with you and having this interview. This has been something we've been playing for a little bit as well, like for quite a while.
Absolutely, yeah. It's taken a while, hey?
Yeah, it probably hasn't helped all the, all the things that have been happening this year and all that, so it definitely has been in the works. But, we did also a fantastic photo shoot, which I'm so excited for everyone to see the results of that. Stay tuned for that.
Yes.
And, I'm so excited for you to see the results. So thank you for, once again, taking the time out of your schedule to come down here and come onto the channel and, work with me as well.
Yeah, same to you. Thank you.
That's okay.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. I was like, when I had lists of people who I was going down the list, I had Azcadelia written in my list of people to message. And so, yeah, I was not going to message you.
Amazing.
That's double negative, not.
Yeah.
And so I guess, for people who are watching at home who don't know who you are or don't know what you do, first of all, how dare you? No, I'm just kidding. And tell us, what do you do with yourself when it comes to the creative arts?
Yeah, for sure. I would say I'm definitely like a cross hybrid between burlesque and drag. I guess that's the best summary of what Azcadelia is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Plain and simple. There's obviously a lot of other facets to that, but that's plain and simple what it is. To put
it in like the most simplest terms in a way.
Exactly.
Exactly. Gosh, that didn't work.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so, how long ago did you begin this journey doing this persona of Azcadelia?
Yeah, I guess Azcadelia has always been a persona that's like been there from a very young age. I remember this movie came out called The Tin Man, which is basically based within the realms of like the Wizard of Oz, but it's like not that storyline. And one of the like main villainesses was Azcadelia, and ever since I heard the name I was like, that's such a cool name. And so growing up I was like a little nerd, so whenever I was like online gaming, I'd just be like, I'm Azcadelia, this is so cool. And then of course discovered burlesque, and that was just kind of, the name was already there and ready to go, and yeah, I think it's pretty unique and stands out. So
definitely, like when I first heard it, like it was, first of all I was like, oh, who is this and all that, and then when now every time someone mentions the name, I'm just like, oh yeah, I know exactly who that is and all that sort of thing. But yeah, no, I didn't actually realise that they kind of released a movie called Tin Man and all that, and yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out, because like that's really interesting. And who was the character Azcadelia in that movie?
The premise of the movie was just basically that like two sisters had been parted ways at birth, and then one of the sisters was like placed in like modern world America, and then the other sister was like in the Wizard of Oz, but like very evil. And then it's just kind of drawn to that character.
Awesome. No, I think that's so cool, and it's got such a, like, I love that you've gone with something that has such a personal place for you. Like you relate to it quite well, and it was like, and so when it came to deciding who you will be as this persona on stage, exactly, and you came up, you were like, no, I don't want any other name except for that, and I think that's amazing. I think that's incredible. So as you said, like before, you kind of say it's a cross for your performances. It's a cross between burlesque and drag. So what initially made you decide to take that step to kind of do a mixture of the two of them? Like, so what was the reason behind and the steps behind why you did that?
Yeah, so I discovered burlesque maybe like 5 years ago and had taken some classes, and back then I was very like Marilyn Monroe-esque, like all platinum blonde hair, very pin-up, very retro. And then during like from that period of time I'd like more come to terms with my sexuality, and so I was like discovering more the queer scene, which of course then drag comes into play, which I'd always known about drag and been in love with drag for years and years and years. Whether or not that was an option for me as a cis woman, I didn't realise was possible until I saw Ruby Slippers, who you should absolutely check out.
Yeah.
Ruby Slippers, who is an AFAB drag performer, and I just remember watching and being in awe and like, I didn't know I could do that. And then so like all up until that point it was very like classical, vintage, burlesque, and then immediately was just like, no, like the light bulb's gone off and that's what I want to do.
Yep.
So...
And then I guess you could say the real persona of Azcadelia was born.
Yes, well that's pretty much what prompted me to debut as a solo performer, because finally all the like puzzle pieces had come together.
Wow.
And I knew exactly who this character was, and that was best explored through drag and burlesque.
I love it, and it's so interesting the way that you're explaining your past burlesque. I'm trying to picture that right now with what I've already seen of you. I'm like, oh, that is so hard to picture that right now, because all I see is, yes, the one and only Azcadelia who's sitting right in front of me right now. It's so interesting. Like, I think but then it's like, as we explore into different areas of like our art form, we do change over time, you know, so I guess it's a way of kind of adapting and changing. And so for you, that was what you were doing beforehand, and then now you're just like, no, this is actually, I feel completely 100% this is where I should be right now. So in a way, if you didn't explore that, you wouldn't be here right now.
Nope.
As that person that you are now.
Nope.
So I think that's amazing. I love it. It's absolutely incredible. And when it comes to, so like when you're doing your performances, like when you're like I've seen, I think 2 of them, like I've seen 2 of your performances. First of all, absolutely phenomenal, like absolutely incredible. I love the lip sync to the comedic spin that you add to the way that you perform. Like, how do you come up with your performances as a whole? Like, is it the song that you pick first? Is it the routine that you perform first? Like, what is the process of creating one of your performances?
I think particularly with the 2 acts that you've seen, so my unrequited act about an unrequited love, and then also my Legally Blonde act, which I like to just say is like a case study of the 5 stages of a breakup. I, like, particularly with those, I'd say that they were based off like life experiences. So they came from like more of a storytelling kind of an aspect. Okay. So like, and then, I don't know, just kind of, I wanted to put that into a performance and to like express that. So, so either it comes from an experience, sometimes I listen to a song and I like hear the story that's being told and the narrative in the song, and I'm like, oh my god, that's amazing. I could like change it up and do this, and then, and then all kind of the later stuff comes next, so like the costume and the choreography and all of that.
Awesome. Yeah. Like, so you it sounds like you're very story arc based. Like you like to, and to be honest, I have realized that with your performances, there is a strong story to the way you perform, to the way you create your moves to the audience and all that sort, and the way you interact with people. There is a strong story arc, and I think that is really cool. And I always, like, for me, I always love seeing performances or art where there's a story arc, a really strong story arc, because it really gets, you know, it's like you're inviting the viewers and the audience to kind of picture what is going on in your head. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, kind of.
It.
Exactly.
Speaking my language.
Exactly. Speaking the language of Azcadelia.
Yes.
That's how it is. I love it, and that's amazing, and I think that's so incredible that you go that extra mile to kind of have that interaction with people. I love the way that, like I said, you've interacted with people, and it's just amazing. And so congratulations on all that. That's
Thanks very much. I'm glad it comes across.
Oh, absolutely it does. And so something I do like to ask when it comes to obviously as a performer and as someone who is on stage and obviously is removing items of clothing to music and all that sort of thing, is when it comes to nudity, was that something you had to learn to be comfortable with, and you had to kind of I guess adapt and, you know, learn to be comfortable with your own form, or was it something that you've just always been comfortable with?
Definitely like an obstacle to overcome. Like something that I've kind of dealt with my entire life is a lot of body dysmorphia. And so like that then brings about a whole bout of body image issues, and so like it's very difficult, the prospect of getting naked on stage and showing yourself in your most vulnerable state is a hard thing to do, but I think that's the way that I've coped most with feeling that dysmorphic, is like, because you can't hide then, you know? Yeah, you bear it all to an audience and they're cheering you on and you're like, oh, like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, we're all here for this, we're all into this, so it's been such an empowering journey.
Yeah, no, that's...
Yeah, I hope that explains
Yeah,
that.
no, that does. And first of all, I'm really sorry that you had gone through all that. Because, I don't think anyone would just... That feeling of just feeling like you're just not worth anything, or just like, you know, and all the judgments of how you look, and it's just, it can really bring someone down. And like, I think for me, it's in a way inspiring for me to see you as a performer on stage, and just the strength that you have to hold yourself up and just perform your heart out. I was like, it's very inspiring. Like, I know that for me, I could not do that myself. Like, it's like, obviously I do live modeling, but actually performing to an audience and to dancing and all that sort of thing, oh my gosh, that scares me to do that.
You could do it.
I could give it a try.
Do it once and you're hooked.
It's just hooked onto the feeling.
Yes, exactly.
Amazing. I'll definitely will. I've already had a couple of performers actually say that I need to do boylesque, so maybe that could be something I look into.
Absolutely.
Do a
blast.
Oh yeah, it would be pretty cool. That's amazing. And so I guess, you know, with you being a performer in this art form and all that, I know that like support is such a huge thing, and it's always great to have a great support base behind you with doing what you do and doing what you love. Has most of the people, like, you know, family and friends and all that sort of thing, have they been really supportive and, you know, of what you've been doing and all that? Like, has it been...
I'm very grateful and privileged to have the support network that I have. Like, of course, you know, I've got my father dear, who is scared of the prospect that, you know, his beloved daughter is flashing on stage. And I don't think he'd ever come to a show, but that's fine. Like,
no, yeah, of course.
He's happy for me, he's happy that I'm happy. But outside of that, like, I've got a really, really strong supportive network of people.
That's great to hear, like, because I think, you know, it is always hard, like, when you hear those stories. Like, I've had my ups and downs of support as well, and it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, you don't have to agree with what I do, but you have to respect that this is what I'm doing. You know what I mean? It's all about just respecting that person's decision to do what makes them happy. You know, and it's always hard when you have those people going, no, I want to control you and all that, because it's pretty much that control of going, no, I want to make sure you don't do that anymore, and you're just like, no, and that makes it incredibly hard. But no, it's good that you've had that support base around you saying, no, you know what, you're doing amazing. You're doing an incredible job. Like, I may, as you said with your dad, I may not come to a show, but I'm still happy that you're happy at the end of the day.
Yes,
and,
exactly.
Oh, that's amazing. I think that's incredible to hear that. And I guess, like, another thing I'll ask you about, because I with your TikTok content, like, I think... For me, I've absolutely adored watching your TikTok content. So every time you post a new one, I'm like, oh, okay, what is Az getting up to? And like, so what made you decide to explore the world of TikTok through what you do onto this social media site?
Honestly, boredom.
Fair enough.
I was just sitting there day in and day out scrolling through TikTok for endless, like, countless amounts of hours, and then I was like, oh, like, I could do this. Like, I could start that, and then I just did, and then fell down a bit of a rabbit hole. It's just like a really, like like all the other content that I make is very like thought out and very like structured, and I feel like with TikTok there's a lot of freedom to just have fun and be silly, and there's no pressure, you know, to worry about who's seeing it, how many views is it getting, or, you know, there's just no pressure. So I think that's just been really fun, very carefree.
It has been really great, and I love that, like, as I said, you go that extra mile to create actually quality content, you know, like your all these different looks that you come up with, which is amazing, and just like I love that the comedic aspect as well, like, because it brings that, you know, from your performances where you have a bit of that comedic aspect, and then you bring it onto TikTok, so you're still Azcadelia in your videos in TikTok, as well as being that person on stage as well. I love that you bring that aspect to it, because it's like watching one of your performances, you know, because you pretty much are doing a performance in front of the camera, you know, you're lip syncing to talking and all that, you know, so in a way, it's great.
Just always performing.
Yeah, it's always doing, always will, always, never won't stop.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that, and yeah, I'm so excited to see more future content from you, and yeah, it's going to be incredible.
It's coming.
Oh, it's a coming. And so I guess as a final question, so obviously, you know, we're coming out of lockdown, it's nearly 2022 and all that's coming up very soon. So what are your future plans for Azcadelia? So what have you got?
Where do I even start? There's definitely like a lot of dreams that I had during lockdown of like things that I want to do when things open up again. So first and foremost, I'd love to produce my own show.
Awesome. With
a like incredible cast, probably held at Poem.
Nice.
So that'd be good. There's Palace of Magnificent Experiences.
Oh yeah, please do.
Very good. Melbourne bar, amazing.
Absolutely.
So I would like to produce a show. I'm hoping that Miss Draglesque Australia, they have the Victoria competitions come through, because that was supposed to happen last year and got pushed back and now cancelled. I'd love to compete in that. And then like, I mean, outside of that, I'm a student doing 3D animation, so next year will be my final year, which will be good. Finally on the final stretch. Yeah, hopefully finish that off, and then put those skills towards my startup little studio called LaRouche Studios.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's amazing. It sounds like you have some amazing things coming up for you, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing, like, if you ever do that one performer show, like, please let me know. Like, I'd love to come and support you. That sounds amazing. And
thank you.
If it's anything to expect from what you do performance-wise, then it's going to be epic. That's all I'm going to say. So it's going to be great. So please keep me posted.
I will, absolutely.
Sounds good. And so I want to say, first of all, thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to come onto the channel, also work with me. It's been an absolute pleasure for me, so thank you so much.
Yeah, I have had such a good time.
Such a good time. That's great to hear, and I'm so happy. Like, I always try and create a positive experience for the people who I interview and the people who I photograph, so I'm glad that it was a great experience for you.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
He's making me say this.
Oh God, don't say it. Oh, good. And
did you get that? The person off camera.
Oh yeah, did you get that? Yeah. Okay, all good. So for everyone watching at home, thank you so much for tuning into another episode of The Creator's Process. If you want to check out Azcadelia's work, I'll leave links to everything down below. Follow her on Instagram, go and follow her on TikTok, go and check out any of her amazing shows that she has coming up. Go and see her. You will not be disappointed. An absolute blast and an absolutely amazing performer. And yeah, no, I just can't give you enough credit for how amazing you are. I can keep going on and on, but like this video will then go for it. I can keep going. Yeah, we'll keep going. And yeah. So as I keep saying in every video, let's keep supporting the local community. Let's keep supporting local performers, local content creators. You know, go and see performances. You know, and go and see some incredible shows. You know, let's just keep supporting the local community, and let's just keep going. Let's keep making this community strong. And so comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode.